Hey guys, it's Anna Scott. So today I'm going to be doing a look that I've been doing a lot recently when I've been going out. It's kind of a dark, not too smoky, but it's basically like a fox eye. So yeah, I'm going to show you how to do it and let's get started. Okay, so first I'm going to pin back my hair and then we're going to go in with primer. So priming today, I'm going to be using the Milk Hydro Grip primer, and I got the sample to try it out and I've really been liking it so far. It really grips on the makeup like crazy, and as you can see in a second, I'll show you, it gets super tacky, and it really grips onto your foundation really well. So if you're going out, which I know not a lot of people are going out right now because of COVID, but you're going to like an event or a party or something and you know you're gonna get hot, sweaty, or need something to last for a long time, this, if you can see it kind of peeling off my fingers, this will ensure that your foundation is gonna stay on. So the foundation I'm gonna be using is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. Normally I'm in the shade 415, but since I self-tanned today, I'm gonna be using 470. And I've been really loving this foundation lately. It's a medium to full coverage, it's buildable, super fresh, light wear, and I'm gonna be using my Real Technique sponge to blend this in. A lot of y'all have been asking me to do another video because I haven't done one since the beginning of quarantine, and I've just had a lot of stuff going on with school, and so I haven't really been in the mood to really do it. But now that I'm in my new place, I have my own like little makeup room, so I'm like, what better time to do it than now, since I'm not really doing much and school's online. So I'm just pouncing this into my face. And definitely make sure to bring it down your neck, because you don't want like a harsh line, because then someone could clock you and be like, you're wearing the wrong shade. So even if your shade's a little bit off, just help blend it down your neck and your ears and your hairline. And okay, now for concealer, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. 16-Hour Wear Camo Concealer, and I'm in the shade Medium Peach. I can use this when I am pale, and when I'm more tan, just use a little bit less of it because I'm going to cream bronze, so it'll help warm back the face. And I'm almost out of it. This is my second, yeah, see, it's really bright. But once I blend it out, it'll calm down a little bit. This is my second bottle of it, and I've really been loving it. And my under eyes are like sort of dry, but not super dry, and it doesn't emphasize that at all. So I'm just going to blend this in. I'm also going to make sure to go over my eyelids, cover up all those veins, so when we do our eyeshadow, it'll be the true color of it, and it won't skip or anything. It'll be a good base. Now I'm also going to put a little bit of it on my forehead and between my brows, just to add a little bit of highlight there, but not too much. It's a really light shade. Okay, and then you can also get a concealer that's the exact same shade as your foundation, and spot conceal if you have any blemishes, which I don't right now. I've been blessed with good skin. Okay, so next for cream contour, you can choose not to, but since I'm wanting to do a full glam look today, I'm going to cream contour. So I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Tantour Contour and Bronzer Cream in Fair. Their shade range pulls really dark, so this is the Fair, and it's pretty dark on me. But we'll see, since I'm fake tan. Let's see what brush I'm going to use. I'm going to use this Real Techniques brush. Doesn't have a name on it, but it looks kind of something like this. Any kind of dense like foundation brush will do good. I'm just going to put the product, and then I'm going to make sure to work it into the brush on the back of my hand, because this stuff is very pigmented and it'll go a long ways. So if you don't, then you're gonna have a mess on your hands. So I'm just gonna lightly blend that into my contour area, my cheekbones. Dip back onto my hand for the product. And I'm just kind of doing a stamping motion and then blending up. I'm not being harsh because I don't want to move my foundation underneath. And that's what I like about this product, because it doesn't really disrupt your foundation underneath it when you're blending it out. Now it looks a little bit harsh, so I'm just going to go back in with the sponge that I used for my foundation and kind of go over those lines. do the same thing on the other side. Okay, then I'm also gonna take it and put it a little bit, because I don't have a big forehead, I have kind of a smaller forehead. So I'm just gonna barely take it up and warm up my temples. If you have a bigger forehead, you can contour it or bronze it up to make it appear smaller. Also go on my jawline because my double chin, y'all, is there these days, and I gotta do something about it. So I'm just following my natural jawline right there. And I also bring it behind my ear, that creates a shadow. And then take it under the chin. And then do the same thing. Make weird faces when I do this. Make sure to blend it out too, because you don't want some super harsh line. Okay. You can also cream contour your nose, but I'm still trying to get decent at contouring my nose. It's kind of a science to it all. So I'm not gonna go there because that could end real bad real quick. Okay, now I'm gonna go back in with my beauty blender and blend out my creases because I haven't set my concealer yet, because you do not want to set creases. Definitely not a good look. I'm gonna take my wet beauty sponge and the Laura Mercier translucent powder and get it on the sponge and press that in. Because we don't want any creasing. And since I don't have super dry under eyes, I can get away with putting on a little bit more powder underneath my eyes. But if you have drier under eyes, I would just use kind of like a fluffy brush like this and just kind of target the under eye section. So now that that is set, I'm gonna go and dust it all over my face. Sometimes I like to use the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Setting Powder. I'm in the shade Fair Light, number 10, but since I'm tanned, I'm not gonna be doing that. But this powder is insane. It completely blurs your face out and everything. It's like Facetune in a powder. Really good, highly recommend, and it's cheap. Just lightly dusting this powder on my face, set everything. So, because sometimes when I do my bronzer, I don't know if you can tell, but I have these patches of skin, like in my cheekbone region, that like doesn't like to grab onto color, no matter if it's a cream or a powder, and it's honestly really frustrating because it makes it look like it's patchy and not blended well when I'm blending well. Make sure to set your eyelids as well, because those will crease on you. And set where you blended your foundation down, because it will come off onto your clothes. Okay, so now we're gonna bronze, and I'm gonna be using the Benefit Hoola Bronzer and the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH06 brush. I really, really like this brush. Definitely needs to be washed and reshaped again, but I really recommend it for bronzing. It kind of really gets right in where you need it. And once again, I'm just gonna go in the same places that I used the cream bronzer with. So that's gonna be your cheekbones, a little bit on your temples, and then my double chin area, and then later I will contour my nose with a different darker powder. I like to go in circular light motions, because if you go in and just really harshly dig in, then it's gonna be a straight line and it'll be really hard to blend out. So definitely always start with a lighter hand, because you can obviously build and it's a lot harder to go back and lighten something once it's darker, obviously. Okay, now I'm going to kind of use this cooler toned powder. This is the Milani Sun-Kissed bronzer. And as you can tell, it's a little bit cooler toned, and that's what you want to really create that shadow. And I'm going to use that to contour my nose, but I'm also going to use it to do my jawline a little bit. say it's a lot more defined than it was when I had no makeup on. It's all about shaping your face. Okay, so I forgot I wasn't recording, but I contoured my nose and I used the Milani Sun-Kissed Matte Bronzer. It's a little bit more cool toned, and I used the Morphe M506 brush, and I basically just looked in the mirror, looked at where the shadows naturally hit the sides of my nose. And now to cut it and clean it up, I'm going to be using my sponge again and the translucent powder, and I'm going to just bake the sides of it. So then it'll really make it stand out. Okay, so now that I am baking the sides of my nose to clean up my nose contour, I'm going to also clean up underneath my bronzer / contour area to make it more sharp. I'm just going to bring that powder down. Okay, so while all of this is baking and cleaning things up, I'm going to do my brows. So recently I've been experimenting with my brows, and I've been trying out the Glossier Boy Brow, and it's basically like a pin, a brush tip, and you kind of create light hair-like strokes. But I'm not going to do that today because I'm not in the mood to fiddle with that. I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil, and I really like this one. It's basically an exact dupe of the Anastasia one, but I like it better, and it's only like $5. And I go through brow pencils super quick, so I'm going to go and do my brows off camera, and then we're going to come back and do the eyes. Okay, so now we're on to the eyes, and I'm going to be using the Tati Beauty palette, and this is what it looks like. Super pretty. I love the glitters. Obviously you can tell it's been used. I'm only just using it because I'm going to be using some of the neutrals, but another great palette is the James Charles palette with Morphe, or the Anastasia Jackie Aina palette. It's really pretty. Use that one a lot too. Okay, actually I'm going to start off with the Dose of Colors Desi X Katie palette, and I'm going to be dipping into the shade Necessary. I'll be dipping into the shade Necessary right there, just like a light taupe, and using my Morphe M535 fluffy crease brush. I'm just going to lightly map out the shape of the shadow that I want today, and I'm gonna lightly drag it out to a cat shape. Actually, let me zoom y'all in. Okay, now that y'all are zoomed in, now you can kind of see better. It's a little far, but it's all I can zoom in. But I'm just gonna be lightly mapping out the shape that I want, and I'm going to be dragging it out because I kind of want it winged out. And I'm just applying this in my upper crease using light circular windshield wiper motions. Okay, now I'm going to go into the Tati Beauty palette that we talked about, and I'm going to be using the Soothe column. Her shades are in columns, and I'm going to be using the matte shade. As you can tell, I've hit pan on it, so I use it all the time. With a more precise brush, this is the Morphe M513. I'm going to be going into the Soothe matte shade, just dipping into that, tapping off the excess, and going a little bit lower into the crease. And this shade's a little bit warmer than the one we just used. Okay, so my camera stopped recording and because my SD card was full, so I don't know where we stopped, but I applied the light shade Aura on the inner part of my lid, and then used the black shade. And with the black shade, I used the Sigma EO6 winged liner brush, which is a super thin, tiny brush. Sorry, I have eyeshadow all over my fingers. And created this wing, and now I'm gonna do the other one, and then we'll come back and do the other stuff. Okay, so now that we finished the eyeshadow, I'm just going to curl my lashes with my eyelash curler. I tried out the new Addison Rae Item Beauty Lash Snack Mascara, and I don't know if I got like a dry one by accident, but it is not, it like barely goes in your lashes. So I haven't really liked that one. Okay, so I just curled my lashes and used the Maybelline Lash Sensational mascara. And then the Wet n Wild Mega Slim Skinny Mascara. It's such a good mascara for your lower lash line. It's a tiny little wand and it's waterproof, and sometimes my mascara will transfer if I don't use it, so love that one. And it's lasted me forever. And then I applied the Eyelure Marquise lashes to the outer corners. And now we're gonna do lips. I'm gonna first line my lips with the MAC Oak Lip Pencil. And then I'm gonna use a liquid lipstick. So one of my favorite formulas ever is the Dose of Colors formula. And this is in the shade On Repeat, but my favorite one, which I lost, so I gotta order another one, is called Bear With Me. But I think today I'm gonna be using the Maybelline Matte Ink Liquid Lipstick in the shade Seductress. So I'm gonna line my lips real quick. I overlined them a little bit, but not too much, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay, so my camera died again. And what I did was I lined my lips with the MAC Lip Pencil in Oak. And then I went in with the Dose of Colors liquid lipstick in this shade On Repeat. And then I decided I wanted it a little bit more pinky, so I went in with the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink in this shade Seductress. Now, before we finish, I'm going to set my face with some setting spray. And I'm going to be using the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And I'm just going to spray that. And then I'm going to use my little fan. Finally, the look is complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup look, and let me know down below if y'all have any other suggestions on different looks y'all would like to see or other types of videos. And yeah, thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.